What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another FPL video. My name is Mo, and today in this video I'll be going through my transfer plans for game week 3. We've still got one game left in game week 2, which is the Arsenal versus Crystal Palace game, but I want to go through a bit more around, who's done well for me, what my transfer plans are, which players am I keeping an eye out for, which players you guys should be looking into as well. So we'll go through all that today. So far, I'm on around just under 168,000 in terms of rank, so I've done pretty well in the first 2 game weeks. So I've had a look at players, I've had a look at teams, how they're playing, and I'll be looking at, why I'll be looking to get them into my squads, what problems I may be facing in game week 3. We'll go through all that, but before that, if you guys are new around here, hit that subscribe button, and please hit that like button too if you like the content you see. So the first player we're going to be going through is Luis Diaz. So Liverpool got off to a bit of a mixed start, to be fair, so far this season. But in terms of Diaz himself, he's had a really good start personally. He's owned by around 11.5% of managers. His price has risen from 7.5 mil to 7.6. He's returned 15 points, so returned in both games respectively. He's got 2 goals already, and he looks, along with Salah, probably the most nailed Liverpool asset in terms of starting. Both of them have come off in both games after starting their games, but overall 2 goals so far in the Chelsea and Bournemouth game. And I think, maybe this is a player that we can get a route into Liverpool and save 5 million in terms of Salah. So I own Salah myself at the moment in my squad. But if we look at their fixtures over the next 6 games, Newcastle away, not an easy fixture, but do I expect Liverpool to score in that game? Definitely. So he might be a good shout there. Aston Villa at home. Home games for Liverpool are always, despite the opposition they're playing, they always tend to do well. So then Wolves away, West Ham, some decent fixtures in between. Then Tottenham away, Brighton, and then Everton. So not the easiest fixture run, but also not the most difficult in terms of an attacking kind of a team, which Liverpool are. Defensively, they may not be as sound this season, so they might not keep as many clean sheets. But if you've got a player like Diaz around the 7.5 mil mark, I've got Maddison in at that price range, and at the moment he is flagged up with a 75% chance of playing due to like a foot injury or an ankle injury. We're not entirely sure yet. But at the time of this recording, I'm not entirely sure about his fitness. But this is one player that I could be looking into, like doubling up in terms of Liverpool, because the fixtures, yes, don't seem the most like enticing when I go through other teams who may have better fixtures. But this is someone that I could be considering to bring into my game week 3 squad. Absolutely amazing. I think he's, someone who likes to take on defences, and he's got 2 goals already. So could he be like the best alternative to Salah in terms of Liverpool? Because I know that Darwin Núñez and Jota will be competing for us kind of like one spot up front. But in terms of Diaz, I think he could hold that one side to himself, and he might be a good choice for you to definitely consider bringing in. And at number 2, this is a player that I really wanted to own pre-season, Phil Foden. What have we learned about him in this game week against Newcastle? So far, he has been like the main source of goals for Manchester City in terms of like, creativity. So what have we learned from him? So he blanked in game week 1 with 3 points, and he got an assist, and he started both games as well against Newcastle as well. So he got 9 points with 3 bonus yesterday. So far, per 90, his XG is 0.3 and his expected assist is 0.32. So expected goal involvement, so XGI, is 0.62, which is phenomenal, to be fair. And I think what we need to understand with Phil Foden is we've always had this risk of minutes. But I think he might get the nod now to play consistently, along with Alvarez as well, because I think, the fact that we've got Bernardo Silva, who's ill at the moment, and we've got Kevin De Bruyne out for long term. They've lost Mahrez, they've lost Gundogan. There hasn't been a kind of replacement that's come in through the doors at the moment. So for me, I think, with the fixtures that City do have, Sheffield United away, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Nottingham Forest at home, and Wolves away. So I'm going to have Haaland in there. Most likely he's going to captain pretty much all those game weeks for those fixtures. But I just don't want to stop there. I also have Guardiola in my defence, but I do want a midfielder, and I was kind of having a bit more of a look. The temptation to get Alvarez a 6.5 up front is there as well. So in my team, if we take a bit more of a look into my squad, with my formation, which I have 3-5-2, I could so easily, if I show you guys on the screen here, I could so easily just take out Eze for 6.5, bring in Alvarez and play 3-4-3. But I don't like the setup of that. With Maddison being kind of like flagged up at the moment, I want to get a bit more of a an update around, is he injured or is he not going to be playing? Was it precautionary? So if it is that case, then more than likely I'll bring in Foden into my squad because I want to add, a price to price point will be really good because if I've got some kind of injuries or doubts in my squad, in my starting 11, then I really want to rectify that. Gusto and Henry are good on the bench and Archer got a few minutes run out this week as well. But overall, really happy with the squad setup. But Phil Foden, for me generally, I just think he's just an asset to own now. The minutes look a bit more... sorry about that. Solidified. However, we just need to understand that Pep's roulette, Pep rotation can occur at any point. But overall, I think it's been quite impressive, and we should definitely keep an eye out for him to get him into our squads. If you already own him, great. If you don't, and you're looking to kind of take 2 transfers over to this week, then he'll be a good shout to have in your squad to bring in ready for the Sheffield United fixture away, and then Fulham at home. I think 2 fixtures back to back. He could go big. Who knows? Would it be worthwhile putting a captaincy on him? Are you going to be brave enough? Because I went Salah this week and it paid me well because Haaland blanked. I'm not going to say Haaland blanks every week, but would it be worthwhile considering an alternative captain? Because FPL winner last season only captained Haaland 18 or 19 game weeks out of the total 38. So maybe Haaland isn't a set for getting captain. So Phil Foden is in kind of like my transfer plans, and he's my number 1 target to bring in if Maddison is not fit to start in game week 4. And then last but not least, Bryan Mbeumo. This guy's been absolutely insane. I mean, we talked about him all pre-season. I had my doubts, so I didn't start with him. I started with Eze. But this guy's absolutely proved me wrong. It was worthwhile watching the first game against Spurs where he got 7 points. He started both games, and the thing is, he's got 3 returns already to 3 goals, 2 penalties he's converted, but he looks much more involved. So he could add another goal against Tottenham where he missed an open goal, which was a pass through by Rico Henry. But 3 goals so far. He's got 23 points in total. His ownership's now 14.3. At the start of this game week, it was about 9%. So it really helped me getting that 16-point haul with 3 bonus points. He's got 1.57 XG and 0.14 XA per 90, which is really phenomenal. And if we look at their fixtures, we're looking at it from an attacking perspective. Palace at home, Bournemouth at home. So 2 home fixtures, which is really beneficial. Newcastle away is going to be a tough game, but certainly can score. Everton at home, Nottingham Forest away. So for me, the fixtures are just there. That's why I've got Rico Henry as well in terms of a double up for Brentford. And this guy, for me, could actually be the essential buy now. If you don't own him at the moment and you have 2 transfers banked, you've got Mitoma. It might be worthwhile going for another 6.5 mil. Mitoma's fixtures do kind of change in game week 4. They are going to be a bit more difficult. But for me, in game week 3, Crystal Palace is going to be an amazing fixture, and a Bournemouth at home as well, so it might be good to get him in. His price has risen to 6.6 mil, but what we're looking at from Mbeumo is just goals and involvement, and he's a main talisman. Brentford looked decent up front. Vissa's done really well, but Vissa might be a bit more of a minutes risk. But for 6.5 mil, one of the main sources from Brentford, who's a really decent side to be fair, and I really like overall Tony and the value he brings to Brentford, and the fixtures generally will help as well. So 2 back-to-back home fixtures, it might be worthwhile even just considering putting a captaincy on him at one point. Look, I'm talking about alternative captaincy options, but the thing is, we shouldn't just be plain and boring. Yes, Haaland will go big one week, but there's more players in the game than just Erling Haaland. That's why I went for Salah this week. At the moment, I'm nailed on to play Haaland as captain for Man City for me, at Sheffield United away. But there could be other players that I could potentially go for. It could be for Foden. I could look elsewhere as well. But for me, there are alternative options that you may have in game week 4. Even the Everton home game might be somewhere that I might consider. Because we've got them in 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's see, Nottingham Forest at home. So yeah, it's 2 good games for Man City and Brentford. Ideally, look, you can look at alternative options to bring them in. Even that Nottingham Forest away game might be something which is a contender because Nottingham Forest do play well at home. But those are the kind of like fixtures that you should target with these kind of players. And they'll bring you some good joy as well. So a player for 23 points after 6.5 mil is a really good asset to buy indeed. So let's go back to my squad. So top 100... I'd say 170k at the moment. Really happy with the first 2 game weeks. 1 more game to go, and then we'll be all square in game week 2. Hopefully I can retain my rank, if not make it better. I've still got 2 players, Eze and Saka, to go through. So if Eze gets me a goal, I'll probably hold my rank because many people have Arsenal defenders in their squads. But overall, I'm pretty content, and those are my transfer plans for game week 3. So at the moment, Maddison's on the flag. My top kind of target at the moment is Phil Foden, if we get any news on him. So then I can triple up on my Man City assets and triple up on my Chelsea assets as well. And then we can also look at potentially even Diaz if I feel like I want to get Diaz in my squad. Maybe Eze could be taken out and I downgrade one of my defenders. Guardiola might go to a 4 mil and play Rico Henry. But those are the things that I can look at the moment. But for now, I'm going to stick to just my squad at the moment and kind of analyse as the week goes by. But let me know what your transfer plans are. Are you knee-jerking? Are you playing a wild card? Did you carry transfers over? Did you take any hits? Let me know what your thoughts are, alright? If you guys like the video, give us a subscribe. Thank you for all your support. Please do hit that like button too. I look forward to seeing you with some more content and some team selection news. So have a good one and best of luck for Game Week 2 when it finishes and for the start of Game Week 3.